So this is like the 8th time I try to record this, okay? When I made the photo, I wasn't thinking it was going to be this hard to try to make a video. I was thinking about going live. Decided not to do that because I'm trying to actually think about my thoughts here instead of just going out and making a random video hating on somebody because you know it's going to get picked up. You know, I could make a whole long documentary on these people if I wanted to. If I really wanted to put in the time, I'm sure I could learn how to do it. But I don't want to do that. I'm here to talk about the story of me and my journey with these people, listening to people like Jordan Peterson or Andrew Tate to get motivation while I was at work. You know, I had been going to work and taking care of my family, but I still felt down, like I didn't want to be there. You know, I lost like kind of my inspiration to be there for a short time, and got motivation through listening to people like Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate, realizing that I got to stop feeling sorry for myself, and if I wanted more, then I did have to do more than just my 9 to 5. So it motivated me to start YouTube and do this, and I learned a lot of lessons. Whether I was a success at it or not, I learned a lot of lessons, and while I didn't really put the effort into YouTube, I did continue to listen to all the podcasts. Joe Rogan, you know, I got into it. Alex Jones, not really. But looking back, you know, I kind of, in 2016, I was working with a coworker, and he was listening to Alex Jones, and I didn't really know about it, but it was during the Sandy Hook times, and, you know, he was listening to all that, and then the presidential stuff, and I remember thinking, like, this guy doesn't sound legit, you know, it sounds like he's just trying to get Trump in, but I wasn't into politics or anything, or podcast. Anyways, fast forward to a new job, I started listening to podcasts through, like, comedy and all that, and just Joe Rogan, I think, and anyways, I got you know, listened to everything I could think of. To, you know, I didn't want to listen to any more podcasts, couldn't think of anything. Kind of got sucked into motivational stuff, you know, with the Tate and the Jordan Peterson. It, you know, some of what they talk about does help, whether you like them or not, whether they're a douchebag or not. Jordan Peterson's case, I don't think he's a douchebag, maybe a little cocky, but he's a human being. Same with Candace Owens. I don't have nothing against Candace Owens. It's just the fact that, you know, people once looked up to people like Andrew Tate, and now look what's going on with them. People like Alex Jones, now look what's gone on with him. Joe Rogan. Most of these people have had their, you know, Jordan Peterson, all of them have had their credibility questioned because they put themselves in the situation, but the public put themselves in the situation, them in the situation by elevating them to that rank. And being elevated to that rank, you have to, how can you not get big-headed? How can you not feel powerful? And power corrupts. And unfortunately, the people that we want to believe in sometimes let us down. And we shouldn't rag on each other for, oh, you believed in that for a second, you know, or whatever. Because there's people that fully go in and they never go back. Once they're captured, they're a Trump guy for life, right? And a lot of people turned on Trump. And now look, you know, I mean, there's still people that are diehard fans, and there always will be, right? Same with Andrew Tate, anyone on the list. Kanye, I kind of just threw him in because I couldn't think of the last person, but people looked up to Kanye. Look at Kanye. You know, these people have all kind of fallen on the wayside of their popularity, in my opinion. Yeah, they're still famous, but they don't have the same influence. They don't have the same power that they once had. Like Candace, you know, has a lot of people listening to her, but not as many as in the beginning, because eventually people realize it's probably never going to go anywhere. Like JFK, it's probably never going to go anywhere. We're never going to know. So, you know, they just had a debate. Nobody really proved their side. You know, it's all hearsay. It's all, based on what I believe in or whatever. I don't even want to get into it, but I don't think we'll ever know. So why do people waste their time when they could be doing? I'm not saying they're not successful. I'm not saying that they're like me and they don't have side gigs and still listen to this because maybe they're too busy to actually create change themselves, so they live vicariously through these people, kind of like I was. But I don't know. Now I've realized I gotta live my life, and that's what this video is about. That I have no more heroes anymore, because I'm not looking up to these people like they're some kind of heroes. And I never really did, but I did listen to them and distract myself with their stuff. And I believe all these people contributed to the way the social media is and the world is right now at this moment, whether people want to admit it or not. Andrew Tate was the most Googled man in the world for a second, and it did have an influence on people because we lived on these smartphones. And yeah, I don't even have to go down that road. But as far as there being some type of grand scheme connecting all these people, I have no idea, and I don't care. Some people might care, but others are just, I don't know. I guess when I think of people donating and giving their money to one side or the other, when there's not going to be any outcome, I don't know. People just listening to one side of somebody's bullshit just because they like their guest, I don't know. I don't want to get into it with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, he will always be, the podcast king, right? Or the godfather of podcast, along with a couple other people. I know there was people before him, but he's like the first big podcast. Why everybody wanted to do it. So he'll always have that status, but he won't have that same coolness, that credibility that he once had. And whether that was all a scam, I don't know. I don't care. All I could say is it influenced my life, and I can't act like it didn't. And now I'm still going to listen to stuff here and there, of course, but my life isn't going to revolve around these influencers. And I don't care if I got famous. Your life shouldn't revolve around me. You should focus. I just think more people should focus on themselves. And I say that because of my own experience, and I understand that. But I know there's massive people that are just distracting themselves, living vicariously through these people, believing in these people, fighting each other for these people. Not just the people on the photo, but influencers and famous people and beliefs. And it gets to me, it kills me, because I think we should all be connected, and it's hippy-dippy, but I mean, we're here to love. I truly want to be a good person and do the right thing. Yeah, it would be nice to get recognition. It would be nice to feel, what it's like to not have to worry about my next bill or something like that, and just know I have it set. And there's plenty of ways to do that, but a lot of people, they want to do it this way. And that's fine with me, as long as it doesn't lead to that. Because if it leads to that, what's the point? What's the point? Maybe that's why you see all these people crashing out over time, because the point is to live your life, not be controlled or captured. And then you get so big for your own britches, and you can't even say what you want to say. That'd be hell. That'd be hell. So I feel for these people, but at the same time, you have a choice. So you made your choice, and you have fans and followers, and you'll always be rich. So why the hell does this video even matter? I'm not talking to you anyways. I'm talking to the people that are out there, maybe feeling down about their job, their self, looking up to these people, distracting herself with these people, whatever. Comment down below. I mean, sometimes I feel like a space, like in Interstellar, where his kids are reaching out to him, and they're just floating through space. But I know there's more people that have felt the way I have, and have gone through it, and like I said, didn't ever get hoodwinked, but did need that motivation. Still do. Plenty still do. And I'm not saying that there's none of that out there. There's good people. And you can find them if you really look. But I don't think people know where to look. I myself find myself struggling for motivation and, like the substance of life. For me, it can be different for everybody. For me, it's, knowing how to conduct yourself as a person, as a humble person. For others, it might be something else. I'm just kind of realizing this as I say it, and probably known it all along. But my point is, I guess my point would be that we all have our own pursuits, and I can't say what path is right or wrong for somebody else. They want to go on, continue listening to these people and doing what they do, fine. They could be having a good time and a good life. This video isn't for everybody. I realize that. It's for the people that want a better fucking quality of life, I guess. It starts with yourself. That's all I could say. That's all I could say. It doesn't start with these people. And it took me a long time to realize it. So maybe it'll help somebody else. But you can do it. You could put the time and effort into yourself. And it's not, you don't have to feel ashamed for it. Like, I'm willing to admit my rights and wrongs, where I was less than. And that's more than most people. Most people try to hide. Most people try to act perfect. I know I'm not perfect, but I don't try to be, and I try to be the best I could be. And I don't always live up to it, but I know that's what's in my heart and soul, and I do care about people, and just trying to get my message out there. So thanks for watching. If you found anything that you agree or disagree with in this video, that I could talk about this for probably hours. I should have went live, but I just want to put some stuff out there. If I gotta make another video explaining myself, fine, I will. But I think people understand. And does it matter? I don't fucking know. I don't think so. But I had to say it. I had to voice my opinion on the matter, whether people give a damn or not. So have a good night.